acknowledge some folks. Janice and Push Stewart from Louisiana are here. Marilyn Trent is listening in Arkansas. Lois Johnson is here. That's so cool. And all the way from the UK, the winner of tonight's Faraway contest, Gordon Wilson is here, and David Jackson too. And we are so happy that you are with us. Good to see you. Gordon was at the Classic Opry on Thursday night that we did, and it's good to see him. Back in the 60s, my brothers and I had a publishing company, recording studio, managed photographers, did all that kind of stuff. My brother Chuck was the main person in charge of the publishing company, and he discovered a writer named John Hartford who wrote this song for our publishing company, the most performed song 2 years in a row, both pop and country back then. It's called Gentle on My Mind.
All right. Yeah.
And brought to Nashville by the late and great Marty Robbins, and we traveled with him for about 2.5 years, I guess. And it was during that time period that Marty decided to do the first albums he did of Western songs, and we all wrote Western songs as hard as we could, hoping Marty would include one of ours in his album. And he did record 3 of mine, but it was Marty that wrote what I think is the classic Western song of all time, The Great El Paso, and I got to sing tenor on it. If you ever hear that record, that little high voice up there is a 21-year-old Jim Glaser. Anyway, my brother Tom Paul and I wrote a song, and we talked Marty into putting it on the backside of El Paso when it came out. Y'all remember the old 45 record back in those days? On this side was the hit song, and over here was a song you never heard of. But the cool thing was, El Paso was on this side, and this sold 1 million. So did ours.
Which no one ever heard of.
But you're going to hear of it now. It's called Running Gun. I rode out of Kansas City going south to Mexico. I was running, dodging danger, left the girl that I love so. Far behind lay Kansas City and the mass that I had earned. 20 notches on my 6-gun marked the lessons I had learned. Many times I sold my fast gun for a place to lay my head, till the lights began to haunt me by the men that I left dead. Couldn't stand it any longer with this life that I'd begun, so I said goodbye to Jeannie and became a running gun. I rode into Amarillo as the sun sank in the west, my thoughts in Kansas City with the girl that I love best. How I smiled and kissed her gently and then turned away to go. Said I'd send for her to meet me when I reached old Mexico. I had barely left the saddle and my foot just touched the ground, when a cold voice from the shadows told me not to turn around. Said he knew about my fast gun, knew the price paid by the law, challenged by a bounty hunter, so I turned around to draw. Well, I knew someday I'd meet him, for his hand like lightning flashed, my old gun still in leather as his bullet tore its path. As my strength is slowly fading, I can see him walk away, and I know that where I lie tonight, he too must lie someday. Now the crowd is quickly gathering, and my eyes are growing dim, and my thoughts return to Jeannie and the home that we had planned. Oh, please tell her, won't you, mister, that she's still the only one, but a woman's love is wasted when she loves a running gun. A running gun. A running gun.
Absolutely fabulous. Now we'll hear Whenever I See You from Steve Warner's brand new Selectone CD, It Ain't All Bad.